Hi, I'm Sid Dobrin. In this video, I'll be talking about the Road to a Strong Thesis feature. The Road to a Strong Thesis feature walks us through what might have been Lauren Brooke Horn's process for developing a strong thesis for her argumentative essay, The FirstYear Dilemma, to write or not to write. Brooke begins by acknowledging that she is required to write an argumentative essay, but that she needed to write about something in which she was invested. She decided to write about the relationship between writing and education. In thinking about the topic she has selected, Brooke acknowledges that on the surface there seems to be a connection between writing and education, but that she needs to figure out what it is about that connection that interests her. Through her thinking about writing classes and her conversations with her friends, Brooke sees that not all of the students at her school have to take a first-year writing class, and in fact, many don't. But many of her friends who don't take the class also explain that they don't feel prepared for some of the writing requirements they have in other classes. This discrepancy is what motivates Brooke's need to write about the relationship between the first-year writing class and college education. Once she identifies her exigency, she asks, though, is what she observes about first-year writing a local issue, or do other students at other schools face a similar situation? While reading about the situation for first-year writing at other schools, Brooke learns that there is, in fact, a larger conversation about the very issue that she's interested in, and that there is substantial research within a specific discipline that addresses her questions. She also begins to realize, as she becomes more familiar with the situation, that she believes that all first-year students should have to take some form of writing class when they first arrive at college. She decides to conduct more research to see what professionals who teach college writing say about the subject. Through this research, she arrives at her thesis. All first-year college students should be required to take a compulsory composition class. Brooke's thesis is clear and strong, but now she must defend her position and use her research to show why students should have to take first-year writing courses. Once students understand how Brooke used this self-questioning technique and took the time to learn more about the situation through research in order to develop her thesis, I like to show students how the kinds of questions that Brooke asks might also be the kinds of questions they could ask when developing their theses. I try to talk with them about the fact that theses don't just appear in writing by chance, but that developing a strong thesis is part of what writers do early in their writing process, and that by having a thesis to work from the outset, they will find that they can more readily write toward their purpose and argument. I also point out that despite the seemingly terminal point in the Road to a Strong Thesis feature, they may in fact not move as ideally from beginning to end as the visual implies. I also find it useful to ask students to actually write out their own map from the ideas they have until they get to a thesis. This act of articulating the process to themselves helps students make conscious choices as they identify their theses. Keep in mind that the Road to a Strong Thesis feature can be taught independently, but it seems to work best when teaching the Map Your Situation feature at the same time. Thanks for using Writing Situations, and thanks for watching.